that tyre one. He wasn't unfortunately able to capitalise on it. A bit of lack of experience on that medium front tyre, and then the blank dashboard really did for him. A big curveball, wasn't sure without the shifting lights where to shift gear, and crucially wasn't exactly sure what fuel mapping he was on. He felt like he went to a fuel saving map and power reducing map just a little bit too early, and that cost him crucial places. That said, he wasn't a million miles away from the top 5, was he? Miguel Oliveira was so close last time out in Doha.
Replay here of Fabio Quartararo going down the hill into turn 1. Brilliant shots there. Slightly out of shape for El Diablo.
Behind it, Cowboy.
I can't give you too much tyre information on everyone because FP4, the session where we really get a good look at what everyone's gone for. We do think most are going to go for the medium front, medium rear. Ryland Cowboy, Fabio Quartararo. Our tyre graphics screen has just gone complete.
You can't imagine the stresses and strains going through Fabio Quartararo's upper body and his arms there as he tried to get that Yamaha stopped into the first corner. Even though our TV pictures kind of show the extent of that drop off into the first corner, you've really got to be either on track or track side to get a true indication of just how much the drop off is down the braking zone for turn 1. It's pretty scary.
And still, Marc Marquez getting a tour of the Algarve from the race winner in November. Miguel Oliveira
is not a bad man to follow around this Algarve International Circuit, is he, to be fair?
He's asking some questions then of the 8-time world champion. If you can stay with me, be my guest is the message here. Good lap that from Miguel Oliveira, 40.3 to go P1. Marquez into second place.
Breaking the mould a little bit, isn't he, going for that hard rear tyre, or certainly looking at it at the start of this FP4 session. Normally what you find when the riders are kind of torn on rear tyre choice, they'll spend half the session on one spec, come in and then go for another spec and then base their judgment after the session. So I would not be greatly surprised if Oliveira is just having a little sneak peek at the hard rear tyre now, see how it behaves, what its performance is like, and then maybe revert to a medium in the second half of this session.
A few riders gone out there with hard front, hard rear for Petrucci, his teammate Lecuona and Brad Binder. Alex Rins has gone out there on the hard rear tyre as well to have a good look at that.
I'm not surprised that the KTM boys have gone for the hardest front tyre that's in the allocation. Even that, though, is not hard enough, as we've heard Oliveira and Binder talk about already so far this weekend. Their KTM factory debriefs almost became Michelin debriefs yesterday. They were bombarded with questions about the front tyre allocation, which was a real handicap in Qatar, and it looks like they're kind of handcuffed as well by the front tyre allocation here this weekend too.
When we got a chance to walk out for lunch earlier on, it did feel a bit hotter than it has been on previous days here, so the ambient temperature is a bit higher, which perhaps is going to bring that brand new hard rear tyre from Michelin into play. Estimated P1 for Johan Zarco.
Vinales goes 5th. He left it very late this morning just to squeeze himself inside that top 10. He was 10th, just got ahead of fellow Spaniard Alex Marquez, who was sent flying. Strange question, Marquez, unusual place to lose the rear going into turn number 3. It happened right in front of brother Mark, and that must have had an influence on Marc Marquez's last lap as well, watching his younger brother have a spectacular crash right ahead of him.
Here comes the Pramac Ducati man, then Johan Zarco, 2/10 up. Surely going to challenge a 40.1 for him. Fellow Frenchman Quartararo will retake or extend his lead at the top in a moment. Nico Marini into Q2 after an excellent showing this morning.
Yeah, really good. He said he followed a few riders yesterday to try and get some reference points, braking markers and lines around this Algarve International Circuit. As Quartararo dipped straight away into the 39s, a 1:39.896. Now, he was really strong in Doha FP4, and afterwards he said, I feel like I've got the pace to win the race tomorrow. And I don't think a lot of people actually genuinely believed Fabio Quartararo when he said that, particularly when he qualified second row. You do not see too many Yamahas winning from off the front row, but he was true to his word. His race pace in FP4 really did come to the fore on Sunday night as well, so he'll be hoping lightning strikes twice.
Oh, Marc Marquez with a big moment.
He saved it, he stays on, but that was a big moment.
The warning then on the front end again for Marc Marquez, but the first save of 2021.
Well, that was way bigger than that slide he had on the rear at turn 7 yesterday. His
Russia world champion Joan Mir. This is going to put him inside the top 4 or 5. Here is Marquez, who keeps going. We'll see a replay of that shortly, no doubt. There's Mir, who moves up into 5th place behind Pecco Bagnaia.
That was dropping down through those fast right-handers at the end of the lap, wasn't it, for Marc Marquez? So, a big scare moment for the 8 times world champion. This is it then, coming out of 13, he drops it into turn 14.
Huge amount of lean angle going into there. The front end just folded a little.
Off throttle, I don't know if there's a bump there where he was perhaps on a different line, but certainly grabbed his attention. But as always in the MotoGP field, these boys just compose themselves in a split second. It's full throttle a split second later.
So Quartararo fastest from Zarco and Oliveira. This is Pecco Bagnaia. Currently 800s down through sector 2. Oliveira is actually getting a good bit of rhythm going at the moment. Marquez is trying to stay with Pecco Bagnaia. He's got a good sight of him up ahead. He just got a decent reference for a few laps from Miguel Oliveira, and now it's Pecco's turn.
Yeah, now Oliveira, that hard rear tyre will have come in nicely now, up to optimum working temperature, giving him a lot of feedback, a lot of grip, and he's making it count at the moment. Fastest first 3 sectors, there he is on the 88 machine, being tailed by fellow KTM man Danilo Petrucci.
Marquez then a 40.6 for him, he's 8th. Here comes Oliveira, 2nd place, a 40.056. No one can come close to Miguel Oliveira last year and couldn't lay a glove on him. Quartararo though, he is looking in sensational shape.
Yeah, the thing as well is he's got the consistency to go with the speed. There's never been any question right from his very first MotoGP race in Qatar 2019 about his 1-lap speed. But he's got a lot of race pace here to back it up as well, just like he did in Doha.
To the start-finish straight for Quartararo. So close to his best time, but another 1:39.
Yeah, and he knows if he can qualify in the front row as well, going to give himself a great chance of making it back-to-back wins for just the 2nd time in his MotoGP career.
Good to see Alex Marquez out on circuit as well. A nasty crash for him at the end of FP3. He's in the top 10 as well at the moment. 1 place better off than his brother.
Yeah, they're in the wars, that's for sure, down in LCR Honda. Will we see Taka Nakagami in qualifying later on? You'd suspect more than likely, probably just sitting out and resting, but Quartararo, this is going to be another 39.8 or 39.9. Over the line he comes.
It's Miller time as well. Jack Miller in 11th at the moment, but he's on course here to join the likes of Quartararo, Oliveira and Zarco at the top.
Fabio Quartararo yet again on exactly the same time through the first 2 sectors. Maverick Vinales, sorry, it was crossing over the crest and going over the line up to 4th on the 2nd of the Monster Energy Yamahas.
Miller goes 4th for 40.1, yeah. Quartararo, you know what this reminds me of? On a Yamaha.
Very certain Mr. J. Lorenzo on the number 99
exactly.
by any chance.
I mean, that is the sort of rhythm that it used to be just mirror imaging his lap times everywhere. He could put that bike in the same position, in the same line.
When you looked back at Doha, Steve, his last 4 laps, they were all 1:55.1s. He made the break at the crucial time, and with that clear track ahead of him, 4 successive 1:55.1s. Nobody had that kind of late race pace. It's another 39.9 from Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Let's pop down to pit lane and hear from Francesco Guidotti. I'm sure he can give us the latest on what he's heard about Jorge Martin. Down to you, Simon.
Yes, please give us the news. We're all worried for Jorge. How is he?
At the moment he's in Faro's hospital for medical checks and deep checks respect the medical center. But yeah, he's conscious. He feels pain everywhere, but has a fracture on his right hand and maybe on the right ankle. Yeah, this should be everything much better than it could be.
I understand he had a bang on the head. That's why you said that he's conscious. Is there any indication how bad that is? He's fine now, or
not medically, but he was conscious. He could speak. He could recognize everything that everybody remembers. So it seems that it's okay. The brain is okay.
Before we let you go, can you give us your thoughts on Joan Zarco's this side of the garage?
He was pretty comfortable yesterday with particularly track condition, but this morning he felt much better. And also the setup, the change on the setup, he felt some improvement. So yeah, he's still.
Apparently there's a big crash. We better flick over to it.
Sorry to interrupt you, Simon. A huge crash for Pol Espargaro. A high side around turn 15. Now,
that's going to really
he
hurt.
looks in some serious pain here.
That just spun up on him coming out of turn 15.
Wow.
He's really had the wind knocked out of him there.
He needs some help to get up as well. Do you know, we were only talking about this, me and Simon Craigfart, yesterday, and we were talking about some moments that we've seen around there.
God, some guys have taken a pummeling in Portimao today.
The trouble is, around that corner, there's some bumps, and the bike is kicking out a bit, it's spinning up, and it's good to see he's on his feet, that's for sure, but that was horrible.
Well, at the moment, Marc Marquez may well be last man standing at Honda. There's been massive crashes, a 250 km/h first corner crash for Taka Nakagami yesterday, a big high side in FP3 this morning going into turn 3 for Alex Marquez, and now a monster high-speed crash for Pol Espargaro on the second of the Repsol Hondas. It's very much a case of the walking wounded down at HRC. That was huge, humongous crash. So relieved to see Pol Espargaro take his time to just catch his breath and then slowly get to his feet and hobble away from the aftermath.
Simon, I don't know if you're near a screen, but in a moment I'm sure we'll see a replay of that. We can get your views on it, but that was horrible. Marc Marquez taking a look over at his teammate. So, into pit lane we go for Marc Marquez, whilst the yellow flags are out at that final corner. It's Quartararo at the moment with the rhythm, with the speed. He's fastest in FP4 as he was in FP3 at 39.8.
Well, that's one where you just sat in the commentary box, isn't it, where you just wince and you just take that sharp intake of breath. You just feel for Pol Espargaro. He's pushing all these guys every single lap of every single session. They're on the ragged edge, they're on that knife edge, pushing to the absolute limit. Every thousandth of a second counts when the action is so close, not just between the talent, but between the manufacturers. At one point yesterday, we had all 6 bikes, 6 different factories inside the top 6. One small mistake, and you can pay for it so dearly.
It's like the yellow flags have been removed. Yeah, you're right, Matt. It's just so close. Everyone looking for any advantage. Now, this is impressive from Maverick Vinales as Pol Espargaro is about to be taken back. That's a 140.2, but the crucial aspect of that is that front and rear medium tyre. They've done 25 laps. That's race distance. That's good rhythm on a set of 25-old lap-old tyres, that is. That's very encouraging for Maverick Vinales. 27 laps, apologies, well, not 25.
Over race distance then. So that's very encouraging for Maverick Vinales fans. He did feel like in both Qatar races, not just the one that he won on the opening night, that he spent so much time working on his pace in worn tyres, which has been sometimes an issue with the factory Yamahas. Seems like he's got a big breakthrough in that area in 2021, Maverick Vinales, because when you consider the life in those tyres, to be doing low 140s, chapeau.
One thing they're definitely going to want to do, though, Matt, is try and get themselves on those front 2 rows ago.
100% again, 100%, mate. I mean, Fabio Quartararo, when you look back, he was the first race winner for Yamaha to qualify off the front row since Valentino Rossi won from 4th in Assen 2017, 63 races ago. And the Yamaha does need a tendency to qualify on that front row to win.
Three-tenths off in Sector 3 for Maverick Vinales. Luke Marini's out on circuit at the moment. Also 14th place for the Italian. It's close though as the second covering the top 16 riders. A quiet session for Alex Rins so far. He's in 17th. Now he went out with a medium front hard rear tyre, but has now entered pit lane and gone back out with a medium front, medium rear. Interestingly also, on the other side of the Suzuki garage, Joan Mir had a good long look at that hard rear tyre as well.
Yeah, at least you're going to be giving yourself that little bit of information if the temperature's around the same when we go racing at 1 PM local time tomorrow. Jack Miller, new medium combination for him as he drops down through turn 15 where we just saw that super scary fast crash with Pol Espargaro. Thankfully he was on his feet after a little while to compose himself, the Spaniard. Miller goes 4 for 141.73. Got to say, it's been a very positive weekend so far for Jack Miller, showing no adverse effects whatsoever from that right arm pump surgery he had in Barcelona 11 days ago. I think a lot of people felt that Jack would be struggling this weekend for fitness, but no problem whatsoever. He said actually he feels A-OK, 100%.
Well, Honda have got one rider back out on circuit at least. In fact, the two Marquez boys are leaving pit lane now. Here is a replay of the Repsol Honda rider through turns 8 and 9. Simon, something to add regarding Mark?
Yeah, just earlier where he was losing the front into turn 14, I saw the footage of it and heard your comments. That there is half lean braking, like full brakes. And what was happening is he was locking the front, you know, which is really scary. I'd like to know what front he was on then. That's a medium on screen, so yeah, not a nice feeling. Locking the front, hard on the brakes with all the weight on it, you know, really scary.
Yeah, thanks for that, Simon. But Mark did allude to the fact that in the pre-event press conference, from what he'd seen, from what obviously he's heard from Honda, from his brother as well, that the front tyre and front end woes of Honda have certainly not disappeared yet. There's still some work, I think, for them to do in that area. Miller, a 40.2 for him, medium front, medium rear as well. So they're all on very similar pace.
Yeah, but the graphic was indicating that Miller's doing low 140s on new medium. We know Maverick Vinales running very much identical pace. He's got 27 laps on the tyres front and rear, which is over race distance, which is why we kind of spoke quite highly of the job that Maverick Vinales has done so far in this session.
And he's still out there. This is Pecco Bagnaia. He's on used medium front, medium rear as well, and this is going to be 40.3, 40.4, yeah, around there. Alex Rins then, obviously preferring the mediums. He's about to launch himself up towards the top 10.
Yeah, a bit of encouragement as well for Valentino Rossi fans. He's not having a bad session, to be fair to him. He's 11th with a 146.19. That's only a 10th, less than a 10th away from the top 10. Yesterday he was a bit too hit and miss. Couldn't really nail a consistent pace, but Valentino Rossi's not doing a bad job at the moment so far. Binder now up in the top 10 as well. He's up to 7th on the factory KTM with a 43.04.
So Alex Rins then, his first flying lap, he goes into 10th. Jack Miller now rounding the final corner here in Portugal. He's not far away.
Straight away on the medium rear tyre, Steve, Rins has found the pace that we expected from him. Obviously not feeling as confident on that hard rear tyre that he started this session, so looks like mind made up for Rins in terms of rear tyre choice. At least he did try the hard. No point sort of hindsight's a wonderful thing. Has had a look at it and he'll be able to make a pretty clear decision, and looks like he'll be going for the medium, that's for sure.
I'm a bit confused as to why Maverick's continuing on a set of 30-lap-old tyres when the race is only 25. Job done, surely,
yeah,
in this session.
I can't remember. There was a limit in place last year from Michelin about the number of laps that you could actually run on a set of tyres. I think it was 32 or 33, so he's not quite at the limit. The recommended maximum number of laps that Michelin ideally would like their riders, but Maverick Vinales cannot say that he doesn't have intimate knowledge of how that Yamaha is going to behave on well-worn front and rear tyres.
Fastest man on screen, Fabio Quartararo. He's gone out there now for a good look at the hard rear tyre as well.
Straight away, look at the pace he's able to put in. Very, very impressed with this young man so far this weekend. He just looks like he's in that zone that we saw him in Jerez at the start of last season. We saw it in Barcelona, didn't we, as well? But we saw it too infrequently, sadly, last year.
Yeah, another good lap coming in from the Frenchman. Oliveira's at the moment in second, then it's Zarco, Miller, Vinales, Mir, Bagnaia. Brad Binder's just gone up into 8th place. That's the first time he's been in the top 10 for the weekend. Morbidelli 9th, Rins in 10th.
It's just so close again. Like we keep repeating, the top 17 guys are covered by just 9/10 of a second all the way down through Aleix Espargaro on the factory Aprilia. Been a tough Portuguese Grand Prix, a first visit to Portugal on the Algarve circuit in MotoGP for Enea Bastianini. Of course, he wrapped up the Moto2 World title in a dramatic final round here last November, but as we suspected, of course, great results for him and a number of rookies last time out in Qatar. They had a lot of experience, 10 or 11 days on circuit. Another 1:39.849 from Quattro. In fact, that's the best of the session, 39.846. So it doesn't really matter whether it's worn medium tyres, brand new hard tyres. Fabio Quartararo on the money.
So is a certain Marc Marquez at the moment as well, who's just gone to 5th, lost a few tenths in the final sector. All the riders on the left there, all those 16 riders that Matt was just talking about, all within 1 second. We just mentioned a moment ago that Oliveira, of course, second, Binder in the top 10 as well. Bit of an update from KTM, Simon?
Yes, I've been trying to get Oliveira, on the live. I try to be fair to him and let him know what it's about, and he doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm going to let you know what I know, and that is, I listened to an interview of his last night, and KTM have been working really hard, like since Danny turned up. He more or less said that the things that Danny wanted changing, they did what they could, and that's what they've got right now. But some of the things take time, meaning you've got to arrive back to the drawing board. And he said that the new bike, the one that I saw Danny had at Qatar test, I'm talking completely new. Everything I looked at, I'm talking swing arm, chassis, the whole rear tailpiece, parts of the fairing, who knows what else under the fairing. But apparently Danny's happy with it, and it is more built on from scratch what he wants. And I've been wanting to ask a bit about it on the live. Hopefully he'll eventually talk to us about it. But there was even chats in this interview about the slim chance of Danny coming to do a wild card on it too, because that is the best way to check out the new bike, race it.
Yeah, thanks very much, Simon. Well, hopefully we'll be able to hear from Pitt at some point. A couple of changes for you. Quattararo's beaten his time again, another 39.788 this time. Marquez improved his lap as well. We just saw there Bagnaia going strong. Morbidelli's upped his pace as well. Joan Mir continues to run.
Oh, another crash. Luca Marini now has gone down as well. Look at the damage to his leathers. It looks like another big faller. There's a few guys biting the dust here this weekend in Portugal. Thankfully, Marini quickly on his feet, but he was down in 16th place, turn 9.
That's a fast crash. That's just after the big hump between turn 8 and turn 9 at the top of a hill. Yeah, those leathers are for the skip, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be more than a sewing needle for that.
So down the hill, and then it climbs up again, and the front just gives up. That's fast. Look how fast he barrel rolls through the gravel trap.
There's going to be a few friction burns there for Luca Marini. A bit of a kick on the tyre wall as well. He's frustrated with that one. That's going to be his preferred #1 motorcycle, which is not going to be ready for Q2, which is coming up for the very first time. Fabio Quartararo,
another
39.829. There you go. A face of thunder. Take a deep intake of breath there, Luca. That was a big, big, fast crash. That's going to have rattled his cage. That's the damaged Repsol Honda of Pol Espargaro under the black covers. Great to see Pol back in the garage quickly.
Well, we may well see a replay of that crash in a moment of Pol Espargaro. That was huge at turn 15. Here we go.
Look away now, Pol.
He was a bit wide on entry and then on the gas. Goodness me.
You can just see straight away there. He just had the wind completely knocked out of him. Almost before he's come to a stop. There you go. Oof. To be like having lived through a scary experience like that, to then have to watch a super slow motion replay of it, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to come out all guns blazing as well very shortly in Q1 and be going full chat yet again.
It's just all of a sudden got very dark. Looking out of the commentary box window at the moment at the clouds above the grandstands, there's a few grey clouds dotted around. That was not part of the plan. 30 seconds left at this FP4 session. The pace is still hot for Fabio Quartararo. He's ahead of Miguel Oliveira, Zarco, Bagnaia, Morbidelli. Now, Marc Marquez is not far away through the first 3 sectors, but he's losing time in the last sector as Pecco Bagnaia gets that wrong. Alex Marquez is on a personal best lap as well, having got himself into a new set of leathers. His brother behind him on circuit.
Yeah, Alex must be gritting his teeth at the moment after that big crash this morning. It looked like he was holding his right hand for a while. A few concerns about whether he got some more serious damage, but he's picked himself up off the floor and he's going again. And this is another demonstration from Alex Marquez that in FP4 sessions, in race pace, there's nothing wrong with him at all. It's just that he can't get the best. We've said this repeatedly over the last year or so since he joined MotoGP. It's his pace on time attack mode in soft tyres. He just cannot get the best out of a Michelin new soft tyre.